respected scholars, dignitaries, invited guests, and the most beloved students of Sidra Academy, well-wishers of Sidra Academy, and the ladies and gentlemen from the Oxford of the East, Pune. I request all the participants to get ready for this valediction program of the entire Sidra Fest program. So here to mark the entire valediction of the programs, 4 students have been selected to the final podium of the debate. Debate itself, the name indicates it is a kind of presenting their arguments, opposing, favoring, and establishing their arguments with the skill of presentation and argumentation. Now, the basic rule is very minimal here. There are 2 teams. One team is favoring the statement and other team is opposing the statement. 2 plus 2. And the topic is, as we all know, nowadays, University Grants Commission, UGC, and NCERT, National Council for Educational Research and Training, with the support of all the government missionaries. Now there is a drastic change in the educational scenario. But still there are avenues providing regular degrees as higher education. But mostly skill-based education is maintaining itself as one of the most predominant area in the higher education sector. So the topic is just a comparison of regular degree and skill-based education. So here one team will be favoring the skill-based education over regular degree education. Other team is favoring regular degree education over skill-based education. This is what is going to happen now. Yes, skill-based and regular degree-based, because there are degrees in skill also. Okay, but just for the time being, regular degree is in the sense BA, BCom, BSc, these are all the regular degree courses. And along with that, there are skill-based courses. This is the topic which we are going to discuss here. And first, this is the normal rule of the program. 3 minutes will be given to one team for their first presentation of the arguments. So the 3 minutes for one team, the 3 minutes for another team. All of with this they can present their argumentation. After that, there will be their involvement. They can oppose or they can favor whatever it is with the evident documents or any other experiences. That also will be happening. In between, the audience also will get some opportunities to involve in the discussion. You can also pop up your views, your observations, your opinions in this particular topic. That is all from me. I welcome you all to this very constructive and creative discussions and debate competition. Thank you. Over to the participants. By the individual participants, Muhammad Mufeed, Muhammad Jafar, Muhammad Azharuddeen, and Muhammad Muneer are the participants. Now, let us begin with Mr. Muhammad Muneer. Please.
Good evening, all. My dear fellow delegates and co-panelists, one who are getting here for discussion. I would like to stand in front of you to stabber and to argue that the degree-based education, in basic, I would like to go with the definition of which we are mean for the degree-based education. The one who is having, one who is clear with intellectual depth, and one who is clear with his moral understanding, I mean insaniyat, and including skills, the title which given to them is called degree. So the tradition way of knowledge seeking, which is replaced in few years recently, we can see in many around the world, in different companies and different multinational companies and everywhere. They are tackling that and focusing on skill-based and answering that we need workers. So come to the point of understanding that. What is difference between skill and knowledge? So when, if a person is having a knowledge and having not knowledge and having skills, whether it can be used as negative and positive. Coming to the example, if a son is not knowing his father, but he is having skill to kill or attack, basic attacks. So when the father is coming to him and saying that I am your father and arguing him I am a father, so he might kill. So considering, and when it's come to our independence movement in India, anywhere in the world, if a person like colonialism around the world, we can see the Europeans has colonized the world in different aspects. So coming to India, they have clearly used one who is having not knowledge, only the skills. But the person with having knowledge, they are stood against them and they defeated, they protected the country. Though this is states that the person, one who is having knowledge, one who is having degrees, not skills, is always needed in this community. He is always be clear, not the skills only. It is just corporate ideologies. Thank you.
Mr. Muhammad Muneer was trying to convince about the difference between the skill and knowledge, and I request all the participants to state your arguments within this stipulated time. There is no other time for you to state your arguments. So, and Mr. Muneer was trying to give some more ideas about the basic understanding about the conceptual knowledge. I hope he will be coming up with more ideas in the next discussions. Now the podium is for Mr. Mohammad Jafar. Please.
Honorable dignitaries, respected judges, and my dear colleagues of knowledge. Today, initially, I have to ask a question: what's more important today? A framed certificate on the wall, or the skill to earn a living with dignity? So today, I strongly stand in favor of the idea that skill-based education should be prioritized over degree-based education. In today's fast-changing world, education must prepare students for real life and real jobs, not only for exams and certificates. In the past, a degree was considered the main key to employment, but today the reality has changed. Employers no longer ask only about degrees. They ask about skills. Global surveys shows that more than 87% of employers now believes skills are more important than degrees while hiring. Also, we can see some data strongly supports this shift. Studies show that around 75 to 80% of employers prefer skill over degrees, and about 60% of future jobs will require digital and technical skills. However, in India, only around 47% of schools offer skill-based courses. This shows a serious gap in our education system and highlights the urgent need for reform. So, in conclusion, as we all know that the skill-based education should be more prioritized over the degree-based education, because another more important thing is the degree-based education take too long to get graduated, but the skill-based education is too short, and by that we can develop more leaders of the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Jafar, for bringing such an idea of skill. It is all about livelihoods. The whole education is for leading a meaningful life. With statistical information, he has demonstrated a little about the present advancement of the skill education over regular degree education. Now the time is for Mr. Muhammad Azharuddeen. Please.
Respected judges and my dear colleagues and my dear participants, today I firmly stand to support regular degree-based education, and from the beginning I'm clearing my argument that I'm not arguing that skill-based education is not important. My argument is that regular degree-based education is more important than skill-based education. My dear friends, we know that in this modern era, people are debating about these two things, and I would like to say that degree-based education promotes you a human life, how to live and what to do in what place you are. Sometimes you may be skilled about public speaking. You may not address the people about what you are saying because it may be different for peoples and audiences. By understanding, by deep knowledge, you can make difference between how you teach, how you do works and everything. That's how the degree-based education works. And degree-based education is more supportive for critical thinking, analyzing and problem solving. And this is the core of a human being, to have a ability to handle the situation, to solve the problem, and to think critically and be with purpose, be with your vision. That's what degree education teaches you. And finally, I would like to say that skill-based education teaches you how to do, and degree-based education teaches you what to do, why to do, and how to do. Thank you.
Mr. Azharuddeen is supporting regular degree-based education on the ground that human life is completely on the critical thinking, creative thinking and cognitive development. And he has made it clear that it is all about why, what, rather than how. How can only be achieved through the skill-based education but other questions can be properly addressed through the normal degree-based education. Now it is the chance for Mr. Muhammad Mufeed for his argument.
Hello, my dear distinguished guests and dear beloved evaluators and students of knowledge. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's very immense pleasure for me to address here in this debate session. As I stand, I will make that point clear that, first of all, let's know what is skill-based education. The skill, first of all, it's the ability to do something well creatively, usually gained through learning, practice and experience. This is what the skill-based education actually means. And I clear my statement that we are not against completely what the term, so-called term degree or the regular degree. We are not completely against the term used degree or regular degree. We are against the system and the process and the procedure that use it without the skills, providing without skills. This makes some sense and it's logically we can accept in a more way in this, and this is the very great debatable topic and relevant topic, so emerging issue in India, because the skill-based education and also the degree-based education is a great Indian mismatch for the Indians. So when it comes to the data and something, if someone, let me come with an example that if a student, he has some skills to complete the course of coding. Example, one of our students, one of our colleague, he has some skill to complete the Python, the language of computer science, within a short period of 1 year. He had to wait for 3 years, basically the conventional regular degree. So it's making him block to bring some of the innovations, some of the creative things and to execution in the practical world. If you look some of for the business tycoons and the great business leaders who have got successful in their fields, who have got successful in their areas, in the business, entrepreneurship and author books. For example, Richard, the author of The Rich Dad and Poor, he says that the degrees, the education, in the formal education, they don't teach how to make money. They just teach the practical education, they just teach the theoretical education. We need that practical education. Even if you observe for some of the great entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and the great Indian young entrepreneur who is one of the great billionaire, Aditya Palicha, the co-founder and the CEO of Zepto, the instant 10 minutes app. He's also the dropout from the Stanford University. So you may have that they have studied in a high quality education, so they dropped out because they had some high quality of excellences. No, it doesn't matter. Aditya Palich and lot of they have dropped out because this formal degree, regular degree education makes them block, because within this period of studies they can't come to the practical, creative, innovative field execution. This is what the great mismatch between skill-based education and formal regular degree education. So we request and we argue that, we tell that the skill-based education should be prioritized and enhanced throughout the nations and throughout the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Mufeed. He is basically not against the degree or the certificates, but the process through which the student is attaining the degree is debatable. And also, to support his argument, he has brought some live examples from this current business and the political scenarios. Great. Now, the basic argumentation is over. Now we are moving to, have some sort of engagement to the opposite team. So I would like to request the team who are favoring the regular degree-based education, the team A, I call you, the team A, you can have your counter argument from your seat itself. You are allotted with 2 minutes.
Yeah, we can see that they argue that the wall like hanging certificates and all. Like primarily we can see that the jobs which staying and certaining by certificates, that is mocking, we have to really understand how it is clearly mocking. Like he said that skill-based education.
Excuse me, Mr. Muneer. I would like to add one more thing. Now you are doing the counter argument on the topic which they have already presented. Okay, they have already presented their argument. You can do the counter argument on their presentation. Thank you.
Sure, that he said that about the situation of India. Like India is struggling with people who are having the where with their degrees and they are not getting sufficient jobs and they are mostly unemployment. Whether, may I ask you that, is it this kind of education, this systematic education considered only in India? What about the worldwide viewpoint? What about the intellectual centers? What about the great universities? How many depth researchers? And one more thing, specifically mentioning some courses and some languages of the computer science like Python, C or some things, like mentioning those kind of things, is it about all degrees? What about medicine? What about law? What about such other degrees which is really experiences?
Okay. So, Mr. Mohammad Muneer, could you please clarify which question you would like to ask to the team? If you specify on one particular question, on the basis of the argument they have already presented, so it would be very easy for them to address that question. Okay. Instead of roaming around the entire topic, we know the validity of the topic, relevance of the topic, and the comprehension that is very vast. Okay.
Okay, let me know that mentioning rich dad and poor dad, and he's mentioning he's not giving sufficient knowledge about how to do money. And we are having basic question that from where it is.
Yeah, it's a very relevant question that asked. We cleared some of the statements that the regular degree and the so-called degrees that are not we are accepting, and the system that are the problems. So basically, he when in the counterpart explanation, he expanded that what about the medical health case, and what about the financial sectors, and what about business, IT sectors, and so-called things. First of all, we have to know that these universities, he has mentioned a lot of that. I'm not specifying the person, the team against for the skill-based education. They are prioritizing. They are more focusing on. They have to what the universities, what the colleges they giving and what they are doing. So basically, we have to understand that these universities they make this, they teach, they give the core ideas. It means the basic ideas, not the practical education. It means about the Richard Koyeski, he mentioned in his Rich Dad and Poor Dad. There are a lot of data, it's a small example. They are just the theory, it means the basic theories like investment, and this is the profit, this is the scalable things, and this is the chartered accountant things, and this is the firm, entity, so-called things. That's the theory. They are not pushing them to the motivational ideas where they can bring the money, where they can make the money. The pushing ideas, the high energetic motivational things, and pushing them to the space where they are highly eagerly looking forward to make the money, and to how to invest, how to find the co-partners, such things. Just they are focusing on the management studies, just they are focusing on the theories. Then when it comes to the field, the certificates that's not matching for the hiring, that's not matching for the multinational corporation companies, what they are hiring and what they are looking for. Because when they are coming, they don't know how to communicate and how to bring them into the partnership and so-called things. This is what we have to understand when it comes to the skill-based education, and as the counter for the regular degree education systems.
As as you have explained that the degree education must be prioritized than skill-based education, I have to ask that if it is like that, then we can see the world's most famous companies like Google, Apple, Tesla and other global companies, they are just removed the degree requirements for their company because they no need the degree to have to acquire to get the people who want to get job in their companies. They no need the degree. They don't require the degree for their companies. As we all know that these are the companies who are leading the whole world. Even we can see that the government of USA, it is running on the basis of the corporates, the companies, the Tesla and other corporate companies. So I have to ask that if the degree education must be prioritized, then why these such companies, the world famous global companies, why they are removing the degree requirement?
The question raised by the team is that why the corporate companies are not requiring degree, they are requiring skills. First of all, we have to understand that as a human, we have to understand that human being is completed with his humanity and morality. And when it comes to the corporate or something else, their motive will be the making money, financial development. That's why they are going through these types of skill or anything. I just presented that the skill-based teaches you how to make money or how to do something else. But the degree-based education teaches you why and how and where to do something. It may be money or something else. So on the corporative objective or their objective, they are hiring these types of peoples. And the one who have ethics, the one who have the morality is not going behind these corporate companies. That's why we are telling that degree-based education is only and one and only solution for the development of whole society and morality and ethics.
So the delegates, they have already completed their first turn of the counter questioning and answering. Now we are moving to their second round of counter questions. I request the team of Mr. Mufeed and Mr. Jafar. Okay, you can start with your counter questions.
We know that there are thousands of students, they are graduating from the IITs, IIMs and a lot of business schools, management schools and in other fields also, in India especially and overall in other countries too. So when it comes to the employability scale, when it comes to the employment rate, let me bring a small data. Only 42% of Indian graduates are considered employable for jobs they apply to. It means the great mismatch between the skills and the degrees they have completed and they have graduated. And let me bring another data, that independent data, it shows that only about 8.25% of graduates have jobs matching their qualification. So this is the reality of Indian education system and the regular degree education system, which is not focusing on the clear skill-based education. So we said that we are not against the regular degree or we are not against the degree. It's all about the systems that providing without the skill-based educations. So I wanna ask a question that if a degree represents competence, why do companies test, why does graduate unemployment exist such a high levels if degrees truly prepare students for jobs? Why? That's the question for the team.
Oh, okay. Mr. Mufeed has raised a very relevant question to the team because we know that India is having the high rate of educated unemployment. That is the term he did not use, but that is the term he meant to use, educated unemployment. if your argument is right, why educated unemployment is rising in India?
Yeah, I'm very clear that about the education unemployment. We can see nowadays the company is hiring based on skills because the company is working people as their short-term and workforces, like using them for like what they're having skills for, not for long-term tenders or kind of things, because they need what the skill and how much it will be having. It will be replaced. You know, coming to AI discussion, it is very clearly explained that why implemented AI technologies, ChatGPTs, Geminis, and such kind of things. And we can see that MIT, Master Institute of Technology, recently arrived a report that, like, published a report that it explains that the difference between one who is engaging with like GPTs and one who is not engaging with GPTs having much more difference in depth thinking. So person who is having depth thinking, and he will be replaced nowadays because corporate needs only skill. So it is problem when it's rising, the corporate are making such kind of things, whether it's come to AI or whether it's come to job requirement or any other things. But at the same time, in Germany, Czech Republic, and in few countries like Austria and France, we can see those 4 countries recently, many of, like almost 65% of companies are replaced their criteria of skill and made the degree for need of clear and well advanced like workers for their companies. Thank you.
Yeah, we just heard the argument about the corporative system and the requirement of or about the unemployment. I would like to say that nowadays corporative companies are requiring the skill-based person. It's the right thing, but more people or half of them are not peacefully working on what they are doing at work. It may be coding or something else. They skill at some things and they are doing it is like a boring job. That's why they are having anxieties. They are having burnouts, and they are totally not loving what they are doing. As a purpose of the life, we have to understand what to do, how to do. And one thing I have to mention that these peoples are, or the one who are preferring skill-based education, are preferring for short-term results or short-term solution. When they need money or something else, they are going to study some skills, or they are developing skills to and join some companies to have money to solve their problems. But the days after this, they realize that this is not what I wanted. So by doing this, the purpose of living is lifting us from our life. So this may be glorifying outly, like they have jobs, they have money, but in innocence, in our innocence, that's not satisfied with with what they have. So I would like to ask, by this, there are several problems like this, and why do you prefer skill-based education upon these problems?
Yeah, as the colleague said that, the same thing I have to tell with them as the answer of his question, that nowadays we can see that there are several companies they are taking as a burden because they have took the employers for their company just by looking their certificate. Just by looking their certificate, they without focusing on the skill, just by taking the employers by looking on their certificates. Nowadays, the several companies of the world are facing the challenge because they have several employers, but they are not getting the expected outcome, because they are even though they have several employers, they are not getting the expected outcome because the employers who are in that company are not more skilled, because they hired the employers and just took the employers by just by looking their graduation certificate. This is why, because of this reason, as I have told before, that the corporates, the globally famous companies like Google, Apple and other companies, they have realized this truth. Just by taking the employers by looking their certificate is not worth, because they need the expected outcome. So for that outcome they need the skill based employers. So such global famous companies, they are realized this truth, and they have just removed the degree requirements, and they have moved into the skill based education. And also I have to say that as I mentioned here, the several global companies, these companies are the leaders of the world. They are the leading persons of this world. So just by realizing this truth, they have done like this. They have removed the degree requirements.
Dear audience, now we are going to complete the first round of this debate competition. As of the current performance, we are going to identify 2 members from these 4 participants, and they are going to be given a different topic for another presentation. Now, as we all know, regular degree-based education, the skill-based education, that is a topic which we were discussing on, and the chair recommends a blend of cognitive intelligence along with the psychomotor intelligence, that is the skill-based education that is required for withstanding today's competitive world. And the 4 C's, which are mainly advisable as part of the 21st century learning skills. 4C. The first C stands for creative thinking, critical thinking, communication and collaboration. There is no competition, there is no comparison, and there is no complaints. So these are the 4 important C's. I think this includes cognitive skills, this includes basic conceptual clarification along with skills. That is what is mainly required for today's world, today's competitive world, today's collaborative world, and today's business and industry world. For that, how we are preparing our generation, I think Sidra Academy would be advocating with a very innovative strategy for developing this kind of generation with skill education. Along with skill education, the Sidra Academy can provide degree, diploma certificates. Plus, that is very, very important, which is happening here, that is the value education or the moral values. Without that, now the life is going to be meaningless. So the Sidra Academy is very consistently striving for making the generation with a meaningful life. That's all from me as moderator. Thank you, my dear participants. Thank you, my dear audience. That's all. Jazakumullah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.